Here we are at Atlas Levy again. We're going to show you another video demonstration of the AT1904A computerized bar tack machine. We're just going to do another Xbox and we're going to resize it to fit the frame a little more, just to make a bigger Xbox. So we're going to do a small one at first. This is a pretty heavy fabric. It's 4 layers. I'm not sure what it is. Probably some kind of canvas. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so as you can see, the first one is small. It was this one right here. Right here, here's the back. Now we're going to resize it. So you would just turn it off for a second, or not turn it off, but this is to disable the sewing function. Right now, if you would press the presser foot, nothing would happen. So you have to change that to make any kind of changes to the pattern. And this is the length of the stitch. So we're going to increase it up to, I don't know, let's go 65. Alrighty, click ready. It's going to make the movement to reposition the needle. So what you're going to do first is, after you change the size of the pattern, you want to lightly press down on the presser foot so that the clamp goes down, and then you would push forward, or the plus, to make sure that the pattern that you made fits into the frame and the needle doesn't hit the side, because you don't want any needles breaking. Okay, I checked it, everything's good. Click R to cancel the ready, repositions, and then boom, here we go, a bigger stitch. This is the one right here, how I changed it. Here's the back. Alrighty, let's see what else. Also, something to keep in mind is, when you're working with all the different patterns, you also need to adjust the tension control. You need to increase or decrease depending on how the stitch looks. If it looks like it's a little, like something's not quite tight, you would adjust it all in here, because the tension control is automatic also. So you would adjust it to, you know, make sure it looks good, to make it a little tighter or more loose. This one seems like it might be a little too loose for me, so I'd probably change it up a little bit. But you know, this is just for the general idea. And that's it. Thank you and have a nice day. Bye-bye. In this video, I'm going to explain to you the different functions of the control panel and what kind of adjustments you can make in it. Again, this is for the Atlas AT1904A computerized bar tack machine. And we're going to work with just a regular bar tack, and we're going to resize it and adjust all the different stuff to it. So the first thing you're going to do is select the stitch number, which for our purposes is going to be stitch number 1. If you need to change the stitch number, you're going to have a manual that has all the different stitch varieties and the dimensions of the stitching. So you would just click the plus or the minus to go forward and backwards. Some stitches are, when you purchase the machine, some of the stitches are disabled, but there's a guide on how to enable them. We do that because some of the stitches, they don't fit into the frame, so they need to be resized. And we tend to ask our customers, you know, what they're going to do with the machines, and we set it up for them so they don't have to deal with it. But okay, so we selected our stitch. Okay, at first, this is just a regular bar tack. It's pretty small. I think it's like half an inch, maybe an inch. And we're going to do a demonstration, and then we're going to resize it. So let's just do the first stitch first, so that we know what it looks like. We're going to, boom, oops, ready? And, okay, so this is just going to be a regular bar tack. It's fairly small. The thread is, again, B69. So let's see, we're going to put that back, and we're going to make it bigger. So turn off the ready function, cycle the function to the X, and make it a little bigger. Let's increase it by 50%. Okay, it's longer. Everything else is good. Ready. And here's the second one. See, it's about half as big as the first one. So other changes we need to make for this to make it look better is we would need to reduce the speed. This is the speed control for the individual pattern. The machine has a max control speed and a control speed for individual patterns. Like if there's something complex you're trying to do, it's generally better to go slow speed. If it's, you know, just general bar tack, then high speed is fine. So for this purpose, we don't need to change the speed. The tension control, It looks fine, but for regular bar tack, I think the needle's a little big, so it's making the hole a little too big, so the stitching doesn't look as good. So we would need to change the needle for that. This we don't need to change, and this we don't need to change. And this is the pattern counter. How many of a specific pattern we need to make? So you would increase or decrease to keep track of how many you've done of this specific job. If you need to keep that in mind when you're working. So I think that's it. Thank you and have a nice day.